Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Sue and this is day 11 of Sue's daily journal series. I'm sat in my sanctuary, as I call it. This is where my desk is, all of my very own things, my hundreds of crystals, which I'd love to show you one day. Various different crystals. But then when I'm absolutely, when I'm a crystalholic, which is quite funny. I'm a crystalholic, and I do own an online crystal shop. So I hold all the stock here. So it's just, yeah, it's quite dangerous. And yeah, I do, that it's a bit like, oh, there's one for the shop and there's one for me. Okay, the shop can have 4 of those, but I have one for me. Yeah, so I'll show you my crystals. I'll give you a guided tour one day. And today is it's day 11 of my daily journals, and it's the 11th of August 2026. Wow, what a 24 hours it's been since I made my last video. It's been everything from wedding anniversaries to tornadoes. How about that? So after I finished recording yesterday, which was Monday, today's Tuesday. So after I finished recording yesterday, I was sat at my desk where I am now, and I was finishing off a few things that I had left to do. And I could see my elderly horse was stood on the other side of the hedge, 20 feet from me. And he quite often, because he has a slightly different layout, he's not in with the other 3, who are all able to eat all types of grass, all types of forage, and also they're also able to eat hay, which we are having to put out for them currently because the grass is not doing anything out there. There isn't anything out there to grow because there's no rain, so they're having to have hay. And my elderly horse has a lot of dentistry issues, where he's literally worn his upper lower teeth down to the gums, because he's 31 now, and that's unfortunately, very sadly, what happens with horses. They can sometimes wear their teeth down to where they're just not going to be able to eat proper food. He does manage to eat a certain type of grass which we've reserved for him, and thankfully, touch wood, he's still managing on that, but he does have to have 6 supplementary soft meals, soft feeds a day as well. So anyway, going back to what my story's about. So there he was stood there. He quite often stands there at the gateway to the other 3's hard standing, where they're all probably stood eating hay, and which I know that they were at the time. And he sometimes stands there and has a little sleep. And I looked up and I saw all of these things flying across in the air. Now, we've got a big 10-foot swimming pool. It's not a permanent one. It's one that you fill up. It's not an inflatable, but it's got legs and that around it. And that's fenced off from where my horse can get to, so it's all safe and everything for him. But we've laid it on to protect the bottom of the pool, of the lining. We've laid like foam mats They're like the jigsaw puzzle ones that you clip into each other. There's no weight to them. And I saw them all lift up off the ground and just start flying across the air towards the hedge. And I was like, my God, what's happening? And then at the same time, my elderly horse spun around on a sixpence and galloped back that way. I was like, oh my God, what's happened? So I jumped up, I ran outside. I know my husband was out there at the time. He was down in the shed. And I ran out there and I was like, what the heck's gone on? And he said, I heard all the commotion. He says, I ran out of my shed. He said, and I just caught the tail end of a tornado. I was like, you're joking. He was like, no, I'm serious. And he managed to video very, very much the tail end. It was literally just fizzling down to the ground. And he managed to catch that on video. So we went, made sure the horses were all okay, because I saw the other horses all run off down the field. They all went galloping off down that way. And obviously Chester went galloping off that way. And so I was like, oh my God, it picked up the zero gravity reclining garden chairs. It picked them up and thrown them across the grass. Oh my God, it was just crazy. So we managed to make sure everything was okay, kept the dogs in the house, and went around and retrieved everything. And it had thrown, like, my garden light lantern things, it had thrown them all off everywhere. So we was obviously going around making sure we could sort of locate all of the items that it had just destroyed on its way through. And we had one of the little foam mat things was missing. We couldn't find it. It's like, well, there's one missing. Okay, well, gosh, I don't know where it's gone. And my husband said, well, it fizzled out by the hedge. I said, did it go through the hedge? And he said, no, it sort of fizzled out, and all the dust. He said the dust would have been 20-30 foot high. He said, but then it just sort of all just dropped to the ground just by the hedge. And I was like, right, okay. Anyway, we eventually located, I mean, it took electric fencing with it and everything. We located the missing foam mat, which was perched on the top of the hawthorn hedge on the perimeter of our field, which is a good 15-18 feet high. And I was like, we are living in some crazy times. And I know that we hear of them in the UK, but you never expect one to literally be like 30 feet away from your house. And in some respects, I'm glad it happened where it happened and it didn't happen in the garden. I said, do you think it would have been strong enough to have taken a small dog? We've got a Jack Russell here, and I've also got my daughter's dogs here as well. Not horses, my daughter's dogs. And, this one's a Chihuahua. I mean, could it have picked it up? So I'm really, I must admit, the horses were very on edge for the rest of the day yesterday. The dogs didn't have a clue what was going on. They didn't have a clue anything about it. And we were, understandably sort of, ensuring that things didn't really, it didn't happen again. Or if it did, well, nothing much we could do about it. But, yeah, so we were sort of on, heightened alert, just making sure that if anything else happened, another one came along. And you know what? I'm still sort of doing it today because, I can see the path it took, and how I didn't see it, I don't know. I literally must have just seen the aftermath, because I've got the horses' shelters right in front of me. So I obviously saw the aftermath of it go across where all the mats flew up in the air. Saw my horse run that way. Saw the other horses run off down the field, and obviously jumped out of my seat, ran round to where they are, into the garden. Obviously, by the time I'd got there, it was obviously behind, the shelter, so that was sort of blocking my view. So I'm not sure how I missed it, but I did by a split second. So yeah, that was a crazy thing, and I was like, oh my goodness me. That was just crazy. So yeah, that was an eventful afternoon yesterday. And it's funny because I think the day before I was filming, and I think I said on camera that I just saw a big plume of dust, like a dust storm, fly across. There is dust out there now from the mud, but I can hear the tractor in the field to our left, so that will be where that's come from now. So hopefully there's no more tornadoes in North Lincolnshire today, or anywhere else in the world. Just, you know, just goes to show that tiny little, just a tiny little tornado, just that little brief amount. I mean, how long it had been coming along there for across the field, I have no idea. It obviously picked up enough momentum to lift off a few of my items that are outside in the garden. So yeah, that was an eventful afternoon. Yeah, so you know, all of that was sorted out. No harm done. Nothing broken either, which is good. So yeah, you know, that was yesterday's antics. I mean, there's never a dull moment here, honestly. And so today is mine and my husband's wedding anniversary, and also the anniversary of the day we met. So when we were choosing the date for our wedding, I wanted it to be the same day as the day we met. So today we've been together for 23 years, and we've been married for 10 of those. And we've been out and had some breakfast this morning rather than go out this evening. And you know what? That was more than enough. More than enough. But before I had my breakfast, before we went for breakfast, I had to go and have an ultrasound, because I've been experiencing a strange pressure feeling, which is just sort of under my, behind my lowest ribs on my left side. And it's been there since about 4 or 5 weeks after I had my hysterectomy, which was 19 months ago now. And it's never actually got any better. It's got worse, in fact. And I've been having the tests and everything. I've had various blood tests and things like that, because I don't really have a lot of other symptoms. Now this one's for the ladies, because I do feel that it's something that should be mentioned. I have mentioned it on my other social platforms as well, because I do feel it's important that we, us women, are open and not embarrassed to discuss breasts and the things that we may encounter as women. But this is also for men as well, because it can just as easily be a man. I had to go a couple of weeks ago. I had to go to a breast clinic. I was referred urgently as a suspected breast cancer case, and I went to the breast clinic, and it was absolutely amazing. I couldn't fault it at all. I was there just over an hour, and I'd seen the consultant. I'd had a mammogram, I'd had an ultrasound, and then I'd been back to see the consultant for the results. And thank the heavens above, there was no cancer. but I had discovered, I had discovered this swelling in my left breast, which came very suddenly. Over the space of a couple of days, I was like, "Oh, it feels funny," to a point of actually, I've examined it, and it does feel more enlarged than the other side. So that was the reason for getting the quick referral to the breast clinic. But again, it's on my left side, so not only do I have this feeling that's under my ribs, or behind my lowest ribs really, that feels like a pressure from the inside, I also have this, they've said that it is swollen glands in my breast. They haven't told me why that they're swollen, but there you go. So the ultrasound today was for the to have my whole abdomen ultrasound imaged, and although the lady that did the ultrasound said she can't see anything obvious on the left side, she noticed some gallstones on the right hand side, but no obvious reason for the discomfort I've got on the left side, which has been, as I say, going on for 19 months now, being constantly uncomfortable, and no positions apart from standing up or laying flat. So basically, when I'm fully extended, are the most. It's still present. I can still feel it, but it's still uncomfortable. Sorry about that. Had to nip off again. Thankfully, no tornadoes this time. It was had to go and help my husband quick. He had the tractor out, so we had to pop some more hay quickly down to the horses. Anyway, so I come back now, and that's all sorted. So that's why. That's why I had to go and have the scan. But sorry, there we go. So that's why I had to go and get the scan, the ultrasound today, because of the, all this discomfort I've been feeling for quite a long time. So yeah, that was what we had to go and do first, and then we went for our anniversary breakfast. So yeah, so obviously I've come home, or we've come home, and we've just enjoyed spending some time together without really anything specifically planned, just chilling. And the thing about where we live is we really don't ever feel that we need to go anywhere. Go out, go for a day out in the countryside, but I'm in the countryside. And we've got 7.5 acres of land that we can walk around on, and we just never feel like we really need to go anywhere. We can sit outside and have our dinner, and it's the same as if we were on holiday in a like a holiday cottage or something. So we really don't ever feel the need to go away. I mean, don't get me wrong, a beach holiday would be lovely, and not have I think the thing that really the thing that we really lack through living here, although as grateful and as wonderful and lovely as it is that we're always responsible for the animals when we're here. Whereas if you go away on holiday, you've passed that responsibility on to somebody else, haven't you? And then you can really sort of switch off properly. So although it is absolutely gorgeous here, and I wouldn't never live anywhere. I just see my horse wander past. It's funny. Never live anywhere and never ever want to move, and I want to stay here forever. You do have that sort of aspect that you are always responsible for everything, for all the animals. So sometimes it's nice to just have that switch off time. And yeah, so you might have just heard the hoover's just gone off, so he's just been doing some hoovering, bless him. My African grey parrot, sorry, can't call him a parrot, my African grey, he makes a lot of mess with his seed, bless him. So yeah, we do have to sort of whip round with the hoover quite regularly. And this evening we'll be just chilling, you know, probably be outside with the horses and just, you know, with the dogs and just chilling outside. Probably take our dinner out there and just chill and relax and just watch the animals and just be in nature and just do nothing, which would be great. Lovely. So yeah, that's pretty much been my day today. Tomorrow I'm off to see my friend, and we do once a month we do a swap, and whereas I give her a Reiki treatment, and in return she gives me a reflexology treatment, which is absolutely, oh, it's divine. It is divine. So I'll be I'll be sharing some lovely, tranquil, healing space with my dear friend tomorrow for a few hours, which is going to be lovely. And that's that, you know, little moments like that are my downtime for being at home and being responsible for the animals. So, you know, little pockets of time like that are really important to make sure that you have, and it's part of my my boundaries. That has to be an important part of my boundaries, that, you know, I have to, my boundaries isn't just all about doing the work, you know, because you've got to be able to replenish the energy that you've used on you know, the work, the animals, life, doing all the jobs that need doing. And yeah, so that's pretty much my day today. It's been, yeah, you always, when you've got something that is not quite right within your body and there aren't any answers and no one ever seems to find the reason why, that again, you know, that, as I say, it's been 19 months, so that can really take its toll on your mental and emotional well-being, especially, you know, as on top of your physical well-being. But that can actually get you down quite often, because if you're uncomfortable all the time like I am, it can really, you know, it can really affect you more than you think it could. So onto, you know, with the fibromyalgia and the multiple joint issues I have, it's something, it's an additional thing that I could really do without. But I'm hoping that we're getting, you know, every time things get eliminated, it's making the possibilities shorter of what it could actually be. So I'm hoping that we're getting to that point now where there's been enough things crossed off. It can only be this, or I don't know. So yeah, anyway, that's everything from me today. Please look after yourselves, and I'll be back tomorrow, which will be August the 12th, of my 12th day in a row, which is amazing. In fact, actually, it's not my 12th day in a row, because I did actually let myself down on day 8. Yes, but I let myself down. I let you guys down as well. You know, I let my viewers down, which is equally as important. And yeah, so it's almost 12 days in a row. So I'll need to start counting from number 9 again. Yeah, I'm on 9, 10, 11, day 3. in a row. So let's see if I can get to the, let's think, if I can get to 10 in a row, I'll make it, I'll do a small number first. And then if I'll get to that one, then I'll think, right, okay, let's get 50 in a row done. And then it'll be 100. And then it'll be 365 minus one day, hopefully. Okay, it's been absolutely, I love doing this. This is, as I say, it's a Sue's daily journal, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm journaling it rather than me putting it on paper. I'm putting it out to the world, and in the hope that it might help others in some small way, whether that's something that I touch on that resonates with you, or whether you've had experiences similar to what I talk about, or even the good stuff, even if it just because I might make you laugh occasionally, and that's great too. So yeah, hopefully you'll be back tomorrow with me, and I will share with you how I get on with the Reiki, and what I might experience during my reflexology session, because that's very, I do go into a deep meditation during that. It is an app. If you've never had it, I strongly advise you to go and have reflexology if it's safe for you. Yeah, it's a beautiful healing practice, especially for lymph nodes as well. I've also found it very beneficial for helping to keep them, to keep everything flowing as it should. Yeah. Okay, right, I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please do hit the like button, subscribe if you want to continue watching my content. Hit the bell so that you get the notifications, and if you think someone else might like to sit in and have a listen, then please do share as well, as it all makes a big difference with growing my little baby channel, and I'd be really, really, really grateful and really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care for now. Bye bye.